So number 35, we've got x plus y times x plus y. When you multiply that, remember the long way to multiply that out would be like this. So we've got to do y times y is y squared, that's positive. Y times x is xy. Now we've done everything with that digit. We move over to the other one. We'll leave a blank here. X times y is xy, positive, so we're going to put a plus in front of it. X times x, x squared. Then we've got the y squared, positive. Xy plus xy, I think that is 1xy plus 1xy is 2xy, and that's positive, and x squared. Or the other way you could do it is use the FOIL. First, x times x is x squared. Outside, x times y is xy. Inside, y times x is xy. And last. And of course, that combines. To me, this makes more sense. Okay. Any others that you guys want me to go over from the homework? 36. 36 is kind of an interesting one because 36 does something very unexpected. So it's x minus y times x plus y. We're going to do y times negative y is negative y squared. Right? Y times x, xy. Move over to the next one, x times negative y, negative xy. And x times x, x squared. Well, negative y squared, there's nothing to combine with it. Think of this as a positive one and a negative one. It cancels out. You got the x squared. Any others you want to see? Number 37, that'll look the same as 35 pretty much. X minus y, x minus y. So negative y times negative y is a positive y squared. Negative y times x is a negative xy. X times negative y is a negative xy. X times x is x squared. Positive y squared. Got negative 1 and negative 1 is negative 2xy. So the only difference between that one and the first one is it's minus here instead of plus. Any others? Let's do number 31 just because it's a little different. Actually, let's do 29. Number 29 is 10 c squared d times 3 c d to the third minus 4d. So we're going to just multiply this through 10 c squared d times 3 c d cubed. What is 10 times 3? 30. C squared times c. C to the third. Yeah, we treat that as c to the 1. When we multiply, we add powers. So 2 plus 1 is 3. D times d to the third is d to the fourth. Again, think of that as d to the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Then we take that 10 c squared d times the negative 4d. 10 times negative 4 is negative 40. C squared has nothing to combine with, so it's just c squared. D times d, d squared. Any questions? Any others you want to see done? $33. Okay, so we have this all multiplied by -1. So -1 times this. Negative, think of that as -1. So -1 times -1 is a +1. F squared g. Why didn't I write the 1 in front of it? It's just like having 1 inch or an inch. It's the same thing. X or 1x is the same thing. -1 times 9, and I should erase that plus sign. That's a -9 fg squared because there's nothing to multiply that by, no variables. What's that? No, it's just f. Yep. Sure. Then I've got -1 times -12 is a +12. No variables here, so this just stays fh. And that's it. So we've done adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing with our algebraic numbers. Which one was it? There's still a couple people working on it. No. Yeah. So let's say we have something like 7x to the third to the power of 4. Just like with our scientific notation, we have to take the number to the power of 4. What is 7 to the power of 4? 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. 2401, 2401. Then we take the name to that power. How do we do x to the third to the power of 4? Yeah, multiply them. 3 times 4 makes 12, x to the 12. When we take a power of an exponent, we multiply the powers. So what if we have 3, x to the 8th, y to the 5th, z to the 3rd, to the power of 5. Is that going to be 15? No. 3 to the 5th power is going to be 243, yes. How about x to the 8th to the 5th power? X to the 40th. Y to the 5th to the 5th power. Y 25, and z to the 3rd to the 5th power. Z to the 15. So it's the exact same process, exact same rules that we had with our scientific notation. We can mix things up a little bit. This is just order of operations. Now we have parentheses in there, an enclosing symbol. Is there anything we can do inside that parentheses? But there's nothing to do inside the parentheses. But through the parentheses, then we do have that exponent, power of 5. What is 4 to the 5th power? (1024). Good. X to the 3rd to the 5th power? X to the 15. And y to the y squared to the 5th power? Y to the 10. Now we still have that -5 x to the 8th up here. And we have y to the 7th back here. Now we can multiply. Now we can multiply more than one thing at once. So we multiply 3 numbers. I'm going to think of this as 1 y to the 7th here. So negative, we're going to multiply the counts. -5 times 1024 times 1 is -5,120. X to the 8th times x to the 15th times, there isn't an x here, so that's x to the 23rd, right? 8 plus 15 is 23. When we're multiplying, we add the powers. Then there's no y here, but we've got y to the 10th times y to the 7th is y to the 17th. Very good. How about this one? We have to do our multiplication inside here first, don't we? 5 times 3 is 15. Well, we should do the x first because it comes first alphabetically. You know, x, y, z, you got to go alphabetical. So x, was there anything to combine with the x? No, so x to the 4th. Then we have y squared times y to the 5th is y to the 7th. And then z to the 3rd. There's nothing to combine with the z, so it's z to the 3rd. Make that look like a 7. Now it still has to go to the 3rd power. 3,375, that is 15 to the 3rd power. 15 times 15 times 15. X to the 4th to the power of 3, we do 4 times 3 is x to the 12th. Y 7th to the power of 3 is y 21, and z to the 3rd to the 3, z to the 9th. Any questions? It looks like it, but it's the same process again as our scientific notation. All the exact same steps. We will miss you terribly and think of you often. So anyway, square root. Same thing. We apply the square root to the number. What's the square root of 49? 7. What do we do with the powers when we do roots? When we took a power of a power, we multiplied them. 3 times 3 makes 9. The root is the opposite of a power, which means we would divide them. Now, it's not written here, but a square root, it's implied that index is 2, right? So x to the 8th, 8 divided by 2 would be x to the 4th. Y to the 16th, 16 divided by 2 would be y to the 8th. We might have a 5th root of 3,125, x to the 30, y to the 20th. Five, yep. How about the 5th root of x to the 30th? X to the 6th. We do 30 divided by 5. How about the 5th root of y to the 20th? Y to the 4th. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So you actually have to do the root of the 3,125. The powers just get divided. In your notes, we're going to have you do 3rd root of 729, x to the 18th, y to the 15th, z to the 24. So what's the 3rd root of 729? 9. 3rd root of x to the 18th, x to the 6th. 3rd root of y to the 15th, y to the 5, and the 3rd root of z to the 24th. So 9, x to the 6th, y to the 5th, z to the 8th. What do you think? Yep. You've got to use the X root key, which is above your caret key usually. You've got a sharp calculator, don't you?